So a review of classifying compounds. Let me just see this in black and white. Classifying compounds. So there are three broad categories: ionic, molecular, and acids. And within the acids and the ionic compounds, there were two subcategories. We're not worrying about that right now. We're just worrying about the big three. So ionic compounds contain ions. That's a clue from their name. They contain ions. In order to have a compound made out of ions, we need positive charged ions and negatively charged ions. And so these compounds are going to have at least one metal ion, at least one metal, at least one metal. There is one exception. Of course, there has to be exceptions, right? And H4. But like 99% of the time, just looking for a metal will give you the clue. So you look at the compound formula. If the first element is going to be the metal, if there is one present. So find the symbol of the first element in the compound, look on the periodic table, ask yourself, is it a metal or a non-metal? If it's a metal, it's ionic. Okay? If there is a metal present, it's an ionic compound. When you're looking at the name of the compound, look at the name of the first ion. If it's a metal, like magnesium or copper or iron, it's an ionic compound. Okay, so that's the key for the ionic compounds. They contain metals. The molecular compounds contain molecules. We identify molecular compounds because they contain exactly two nonmetals. So you look at the name. Look at the name of the first element. If that's a nonmetal, look at the name of the second part. Most compounds have two names, just like most people have two names. They go by a first name and a last name. There are a few exceptions. There are some people that use their middle name as well. You know, Mary Ann Jones. She doesn't want to be called Mary. She wants to be called Mary Ann, and it's not together. It's two words, Mary Ann. There are a few compounds like that have three words, but most of them are two. So the first word refers to the first element. If that's a non-metal, you most likely have a molecular compound. When you're looking at the formula, there should be two element symbols. Two element symbols, both nonmetals, molecular compound. For the acids, acids contain hydrogen. I was going to write the symbol and then I changed my mind and wrote the name. Acids contain hydrogen. So that's how we identify from their formulas. The H will be first. First element is H. From the name, the last word is acid. So if you have the name of a compound and it's hydrochloric acid, it's an acid. That's not so hard. If you have a formula and the first element is H, it's an acid. Okay? I am teaching you a somewhat simplified version of nomenclature. There will be some exceptions. If you need to deal with exceptions in a future class like 1A, they will teach you about those. But this is the basic stuff that you need to know. Any questions?